Hey guys, just got back from the gym. Just wanted to give you a bit more of an insight into what I'm doing strength conditioning wise at the moment. I'm keeping my training in the gym very general and just general movement patterns, nothing super sport specific, and I don't really go into anything highly super specific until generally right at the end of the program, so more towards the late build phase and more threshold area where training needs to be getting specific closer to race day. But at the end of the day, I always had the philosophy, particularly as a coach, that your gym work is a supplement to what you're doing swim, bike and run. If you want to build in sport specific skill, go and practice the sport. The gym is there to supplement it, get you strong, improve your muscle, your bone, your joint health, your tendon health as well, make sure everything's working, allow you to increase your resistance to damage and overall injury as well. So in terms of what I'm doing at the moment, it's pretty simple. I don't do anything outrageous in the gym, and I don't prescribe anything really sort of complex or anything for any of my athletes anyway that I coach. I just keep it really, really basic and to the absolute necessities. So today, as an example, what I did was jumped in, did a trap bar deadlift to start. Quick warm-up set, just the bar only. 10 reps, just sort of slow, controlled, moving through my deadlift pattern or my movement, making sure everything was feeling okay. Did a couple of mobility exercises just to get ankles, hips, knees going, a bit through my lower back as well. And then pretty much just got straight into the session. So what my session looked like for deadlift today, 2x8 at 60 kilos, 2x6 at, what were we at, 80 kilos, and then 2x4 at 90. So I just progressively went up a little bit. And as I dropped the number of reps, I increased the weight that I put on the trap bar just to make it a little bit more challenging, but then also at the same time, really give me that top end maximal strength stimulus. By that last set, I was doing about 1.5 times my body weight. My 1 RM, if I'm going to do one maximal effort when I warm myself up and go, I can get it pretty close to, I haven't tested in a long time, but I can get pretty close to almost about 115, 120 kilos, which means I'm getting close to 2 times body weight as my maximal lift, which is a pretty sort of rough guideline in the field of if you can deadlift about 2 times your body weight, you can squat about 1.5 in a maximal one-off effort. You're doing pretty well in terms of relative strength for your size. That was my trap bar deadlift set. I had a couple of minutes rest, so 2 minutes rest in between each of those sets, and just progressively worked up. Once I finished that, I got into a couple of supersets. So I did a Bulgarian split squat in a goblet position, so holding a dumbbell up on my chest like so, working on single leg strength, particularly through the quad, through the knee. Then moved straight into a standing calf raise, a loaded standing calf raise. So I had the bar across my back to get a little bit extra weight under it. Moving through that, obviously working on the gastroc in the calf, through the ankle and the Achilles as well, strengthening up everything around there. Critical, obviously, for running. In the Bulgarian split squat stuff, more for quad, better for sort of pushing down the bike, etc., but also handy with that single leg stance in running as well. 2x6 on each of those, going at about sort of 7 to 8 out of 10 difficulty. Not really trying to challenge too much, but it's more just an accessory type exercise. I didn't want to go too hard either because I have to ride later on today as well. Moved into a superset of pull-ups. So I did 2x5 pull-ups just at body weight, pulling myself through, trying to keep myself nice and aligned and straight. You'll see it in the video. And then I moved into 2x6 Parloff press on each side. So it ended up being 4 sets because you have to do left and right. But a really good exercise there just to manipulate what we call anti-rotation. So we don't want to be pulling ourselves across or being pulled across by resistance, particularly when we're running, when we're swimming. We want to be able to control that rotation and not be wasting any energy trying to overstabilize or getting into a position where we're potentially going to injure us as well. So I guess that more lent more to the swimming side of things if we're looking at now a little bit of specificity. Pull-ups, obviously great. It's the ideal swimmer's exercise. Get the lats as big as we can, etc. And then the Parloff press is a good one just for that anti-rotation, like I said, core stability, making sure we're not rocking and rolling, particularly for things like running, not twisting while we're running, not rocking and rolling on the bike in the aero position. Really good exercise, and it's just sort of an easy way or good way to finish out the session. So 5 exercises. It took me about 45 minutes because I took plenty of rest in between. I was trying to film some of the stuff as well, having a bit of a chat in the gym too. So, I mean, all these things don't have to take massive amounts out of your day or out of your training schedule. It's just little 1%ers that we can do, and we can just nail those key aspects. You're going to go a long way to be able to have a really quality strength conditioning session. The one thing I did want to quickly touch on is you'll see me in all my strength videos wearing a different set of shoes. So I actually wear these ones here. These are Nike Metcons. They're a specific gym shoe. What they've got is they've got a much firmer sole in the bottom. So when you squat, when you deadlift, you don't get the compression of the foam underneath, which means you get a nice solid platform to be able to push off. If you've got a pair of shoes that you like going running in, I would not wear them in the gym because you don't want to compress them, don't want to lose the foam, you don't want to lose the support and stability that you're getting out when you're running. So I like using these. I've had these for the last sort of 6 months now, 7 months now. Really enjoyed using them and wearing them. So highly recommend it if you are going to get a bit more serious about doing a bit of gym work and going to the gym, etc., a couple of times a week as part of your program, and you're going to be starting to lift the weight that you're lifting as well, in terms of squat, deadlift, etc. I definitely recommend getting a pair of sort of gym specific shoes, harder sole, gives you a bit more in terms of a solid platform to push off, but also it's not going to ruin your pair of shoes for when you go out running. Hopefully you got a little bit out of just listening to how simple and easy we can keep the gym stuff and what I'm doing at the moment. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I do need to get some food in, grab a coffee, and head into work. And I got VO2 intervals this afternoon. Not the best way to do it, gym into VO2 intervals, but it's the only way I can fit it in the week at the moment, so I'm trying to space it out as best I can. But we'll get stuck back into those with, I think I got the pyramid again, so a little bit tricky again, but we'll give it a crack and see how we go. You want to come for a recovery walk? Let's go!